The alien transmission crackled to the speakers of Earth's deep space communication array, a haunting blend of guttural clicks and melodic tones translated into a desperate plea. The KRYLL, a species unknown to humanity, begged for help. Their voices trembled with fear as they described the Vorax, a relentless, hive-minded species that consumed entire civilizations. The KRYLL homeworld was under siege, their cities burning, their people dying. They had reached out to countless species, but none had answered. Humanity was their last hope. On Earth, the transmission sparked heated debates. The United Nations convened an emergency session, leaders clashing over whether humanity was ready for such a responsibility. Some argued that Earth's fledgling interstellar fleet was no match for the Vorax, a species that had already crushed advanced civilizations. Others, however, saw an opportunity, not for conquest, but for compassion. If we don't help them, one leader argued, who will help us when our time comes? The decision was made. Humanity would answer the call. The fleet was small, just 5 ships, each a testament to human ingenuity, but untested in real combat. The Eclipse, the flagship, was a sleek vessel armed with experimental plasma cannons. The Dauntless and Resolute were equipped with advanced shielding and drone systems. The Pioneer and Vanguard carried ground troops and engineers, ready to assist the KRYLL in rebuilding their defenses. As the fleet prepared to depart, the KRYLL expressed their doubts. "Your fleet is small," their ambassador said, his voice tinged with despair. "The Vorax will destroy you." The human commander, Admiral Elena Reyes, responded with quiet confidence. "We'll see." The journey to the KRYLL homeworld took weeks. During the trip, the KRYLL shared more about their enemy. The Vorax were a hive species, their ships organic and self-repairing. Their tactics brutal and unrelenting. They didn't conquer, they consumed. Entire planets were stripped of resources, their populations enslaved or exterminated. The KRYLL had fought valiantly, but their conventional strategies were no match for the Vorax's sheer numbers and ferocity. The humans listened intently, their engineers and tacticians working around the clock to devise a plan. When the fleet arrived at the KRYLL homeworld, the sight was devastating. The planet's surface was scarred by fire, its once vibrant cities reduced to smoldering ruins. The Vorax fleet loomed in orbit, a swarm of grotesque, pulsating ships that seemed to blot out the stars. The KRLL's remaining defenses were crumbling, their ships outnumbered and outgunned. The human fleet's arrival was met with a mix of hope and disbelief. "This is all you brought?" the KRYLL commander asked, his voice heavy with despair. Reyes didn't flinch. "It's enough." The first engagement was a test. The human fleet launched a series of hit-and-run strikes, targeting the Vorax's supply lines and communication hubs. The KRYLL watched in awe as the humans used drones and decoys to confuse the enemy, their ships darting in and out of combat with precision. The Vorax, accustomed to overwhelming their foes with brute force, were caught off guard. Several of their ships were destroyed, their organic hulls rupturing in bursts of green flame. The KRYLL began to see a glimmer of hope, though the Vorax still vastly outnumbered the human fleet. As the battle raged, the KRYLL offered their own resources and technology to aid the fight. Their energy shields were integrated into the human ships, enhancing their durability. Their plasma weapons were adapted to the human fleet's arsenal, increasing their firepower. The collaboration was tense but effective, the two species learning to trust each other in the heat of battle. The KRYLL, once skeptical of humanity's capabilities, began to see them as equals, perhaps even as saviors. The stage was set for a larger, more decisive battle. The Vorax, now aware of the human fleet's presence, began to adapt their tactics. They launched a massive counterattack, their ships swarming the KRYLL homeworld in a relentless assault. The human fleet, though outnumbered, stood their ground. Reyes ordered her ships to form a defensive perimeter around the planet, their shields overlapping to create a barrier against the Vorax onslaught. The KRYLL, inspired by humanity's courage, rallied their own forces to join the fight. The battle was fierce, the Vorax's organic ships slamming against the human KRYLL defenses like a tidal wave. The Dauntless took heavy damage, its shields flickering under the relentless assault. The Resolute was forced to retreat after a Vorix boarding party breached its hull, but the humans refused a break. Reyes, her voice calm and steady, coordinated the defense with precision, her ship striking back with devastating accuracy. The KRYLL, emboldened by humanity's resolve, fought with renewed vigor, their ships weaving through the chaos to deliver crippling blows to the Vorix fleet. As the battle reached its climax, Reyes unveiled her final gambit. The Eclipse, cloaked and undetected, slipped behind the Vorix fleet and launched a barrage of EMP missiles at their command ship. The Vorix, their coordination disrupted, fell into chaos. The human and KRYLL forces seized the opportunity, launching a coordinated assault that shattered the Vorix fleet. The command ship, its organic hull rupturing in a burst of green flame, was destroyed, sending the remaining Vorix ships into retreat. The KRYLL homeworld was saved, but the cost was high. The human fleet, though victorious, was battered and broken. The Dauntless and Resolute were barely operational, their crews exhausted but triumphant. The KRYLL, their gratitude overwhelming, hailed humanity as heroes. "You came when no one else would," their ambassador said, his voice filled with emotion. "You have given us a future." Reyes, her face weary but determined, nodded. "We did what we had to do." As the KRYLL began to rebuild, the human fleet prepared to return home. Their journey had proven that humanity, though small and inexperienced, had a place among the stars. The galaxy, once indifferent to their existence, now looked to them with hope. The Vorix, though defeated, remained a lingering threat, but humanity was ready. They had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, their courage and ingenuity shining like a beacon in the void. The KRYLL homeworld, once on the brink of destruction, now stood as a testament to what could be achieved when species stood together. And humanity, once seen as weak and insignificant, had proven that even the smallest light could drive back the darkest night. The KRYLL homeworld hung in the void, its surface scarred and smoldering, a testament to the Vorix's relentless brutality. The human fleet, though small, had arrived in time to prevent total annihilation, but the battle was far from over. Admiral Elena Reyes stood on the bridge of the Eclipse, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. The Vorix fleet, a grotesque swarm of organic ships, still dominated the skies, their numbers overwhelming. The KRYLL's defenses were in shambles, their ships outmatched and their morale shattered. Reyes knew that brute force wouldn't win this fight. Humanity's strength lay not in numbers, but in ingenuity. The first step was to assess the enemy. The Vorix were a hive species. Their ships operated with a terrifying unity, each vessel an extension of a single collective mind. They relied on overwhelming numbers and brute force, their tactics predictable but devastatingly effective. The KRYLL had tried to meet them head-on, a strategy that had cost them dearly. Reyes and her team studied the data, searching for weaknesses. They found one: the Vorix's reliance on centralized coordination. If the human fleet could disrupt their communication, the hive mind would falter. The plan was risky, but it was their best chance. The human fleet would use guerrilla tactics, striking quickly and retreating before the Vorix could respond. Drones and decoys would be deployed to confuse the enemy, drawing their fire and creating openings for precise strikes. EMP weapons, adapted from KRYLL technology, would target the Vorix's organic systems, disrupting their coordination. The KRYLL, though skeptical, agreed to support the plan. They had nothing left to lose. The first strike was a test. The Dauntless and Resolute launched a swarm of drones, their small, agile forms darting to the Vorix fleet like a cloud of gnats. The Vorix, their attention divided, opened fire, their organic weapons tearing through the drones with terrifying efficiency. But the distraction worked. The Eclipse, cloaked and undetected, slipped behind the Vorix lines and launched a volley of EMP missiles. The missiles detonated in a burst of electromagnetic energy, their pulses rippling through the Vorix ships. The effect was immediate. The Vorix fleet, their coordination disrupted, began to falter, their movements becoming erratic and uncoordinated. The KRYLL watched in awe as the human fleet struck with precision, their ships darting in and out of combat with a speed and agility that defied the Vorix's brute strength. The Dauntless and Resolute, Their shields, reinforced with KRYLL technology, held the line, their plasma cannons tearing through the Voryx's organic hulls. The Pioneer and Vanguard, though lightly armed, provided critical support, their engineers repairing damaged systems, and their ground troops repelling Voryx boarding parties. The battle was fierce, but the human fleet's tactics were working. The Voryx, though formidable, were not invincible. Their reliance on centralized coordination made them vulnerable to disruption, and the human fleet exploited this weakness with ruthless efficiency. The EMP strikes continued, each volley further fracturing the hive mind's control. The Voryx ships, once a unified swarm, began to act independently, their movements chaotic and uncoordinated. The KRYLL, emboldened by the human fleet's success, joined the fight, their ships striking at the Voryx with renewed vigor. But the Voryx were not without their own cunning. As the human fleet pressed their advantage, the Voryx adapted, their ships forming smaller, more autonomous swarms to counter the EMP strikes. The battle grew more intense, the Voryx's organic weapons tearing through the human fleet's defenses with terrifying efficiency. The Dauntless took heavy damage, its shields flickering under the relentless assault. The Resolute was forced to retreat after a Voryx boarding party breached its hull. The human fleet, though outnumbered, refused to break. Reyes, her voice calm and steady, coordinated the defense with precision. She ordered the fleet to fall back, drawing the Voryx into a trap. The Eclipse, cloaked and undetected, slipped behind the Voryx lines and launched a final, devastating EMP strike. The missiles detonated in a burst of electromagnetic energy, their pulses rippling through the Voryx ships. The effect was immediate. The Voryx fleet, their coordination shattered, fell into chaos. The human and KRYLL forces seized the opportunity, launching a coordinated assault that shattered the Voryx fleet. The Voryx command ship, a massive, pulsating behemoth, was a final target. The Eclipse, its cloaking device strained to its limits, slipped past the Voryx defenses and launched a barrage of EMP missiles at the command ship. The missiles detonated in a burst of green flame, their pulses rippling to the Voryx's organic systems. The command ship, its coordination disrupted, began to falter, its movements becoming erratic and uncoordinated. The human and KRYLL forces seized the opportunity, launching a coordinated assault that shattered the Voryx fleet. The Voryx command ship, its organic hull rupturing in a burst of green flame, was destroyed, sending the remaining Voryx ships into retreat. The KRYLL homeworld was saved, but the cost was high. The human fleet, though victorious, was battered and broken. The Dauntless and Resolute were barely operational, their crews exhausted but triumphant. The KRYLL, their gratitude overwhelming, hailed humanity as heroes. "You came when no one else would," their ambassador said, his voice filled with emotion. "You have given us a future." Reyes, her face weary but determined, nodded. "We did what we had to do." As the KRYLL began to rebuild, the human fleet prepared to return home. Their journey had proven that humanity, though small and inexperienced, had a place among the stars. The galaxy, once indifferent to their existence, now looked to them with hope. The Voryx, though defeated, remained a lingering threat, but humanity was ready. They had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, their courage and ingenuity shining like a beacon in the void. The KRYLL homeworld, once on the brink of destruction, now stood as a testament to what could be achieved when species stood together. And humanity, once seen as weak and insignificant, had proven that even the smallest light could drive back the darkest night. The Voryx fleet, though staggered by humanity's initial strikes, was far from defeated. Their command ship, a grotesque leviathan pulsating with organic energy, loomed over the KRYLL homeworld like a harbinger of doom. The hive mind, though disrupted, was adapting. Smaller swarms of Voryx ships broke away from the main fleet, operating with a terrifying autonomy that made them harder to predict. The human fleet, though battered, held their ground, their determination unshaken. Admiral Elena Reyes knew the next phase of the battle would be the most critical. If they could destroy the command ship, the Voryx fleet would collapse. But getting close enough to strike would require everything they had. The KRYLL, their hope rekindled by humanity's ingenuity, offered their full support. Their remaining ships, though few in number, were equipped with advanced technology that could turn the tide. Together, the human and KRYLL engineers worked tirelessly to integrate their systems, creating hybrid weapons and shields that combined the best of both species. The Eclipse, now reinforced with KRYLL energy shields, became the linchpin of the plan. Its cloaking device, though strained from overuse, would allow it to slip past the Vor's defenses and deliver the killing blow. The battle began with a feint. The dauntless and resolute, their hulls patched and their crews exhausted, led a diversionary attack on the Vorix's left flank. The KRYLL ships, their plasma cannons blazing, joined the assault, drawing the Vorix's attention away from the Eclipse. The Vorix, their hive mind still recovering from the EMP strikes, reacted predictably, swarming the attacking forces with overwhelming numbers. The Dauntless took heavy damage, its shields flickering under the relentless assault, but held the line, buying precious time for the Eclipse to make its move. The Eclipse, cloaked and undetected, slipped through the chaos, its crew holding their breath as they approached the Vorix command ship. The massive vessel loomed ahead, its organic hull pulsating with sickly green light. Reyes ordered the ship to hold position, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The tension on the bridge was palpable, every second feeling like eternity. Then the signal came. The Dauntless and resolute, their diversion complete, began to fall back, drawing the Vorix fleet away from the command ship. The Eclipse moved in. The attack was swift and brutal. The Eclipse launched a full volley of EMP missiles, their electromagnetic pulses rippling through the Vorix command ship's organic systems. The effect was immediate. The command ship, its coordination disrupted, began to falter, its movements becoming erratic and uncoordinated. The Vorix fleet, their hive mind fractured, fell into chaos. The human and KRYLL forces seized the opportunity, launching a coordinated assault that shattered the Vorix lines. But the command ship was not defenseless. Its organic weapons, though slowed by the EMP strikes, began to target the Eclipse. The human ship's shields, reinforced with KRYLL technology, held firm, but the strain was immense. Reyes ordered the ship to evade, its cloaking device flickering as it dodged the command ship's attacks. The Eclipse S-plasma cannons returned fire, their energy bolts tearing through the Vorix's organic hull. The command ship, though damaged, was still operational. Reyes knew they needed one final strike to finish it. The KRYLL, their ships now fully engaged in the battle, provided the support the Eclipse needed. Their plasma cannons targeted the command ship's weapons, disabling them one by one. The Dauntless and resolute, though heavily damaged, joined the assault, their remaining weapons firing in unison. The Vorix fleet, their coordination shattered, began to retreat, their ships scattering in disarray. But the command ship, though crippled, refused to fall. Reyes made the decision. The Eclipse would deliver the final blow. The ship, its cloaking device now failing, moved in close, its plasma cannons firing at point-blank range. The command ship's organic hull ruptured, its green flame spreading like wildfire as the massive vessel began to collapse. The Eclipse pulled away, its shields barely holding as the command ship exploded in a blinding burst of light. The Vorix fleet, their hive mind destroyed, fell into complete disarray. The battle was won. The KRYLL homeworld was saved, but the cost was high. The human fleet, though victorious, was battered and broken. The Dauntless and resolute were barely operational, their crews exhausted but triumphant. The KRYLL, their gratitude overwhelming, hailed humanity as heroes. "You came when no one else would," their ambassador said, his voice filled with emotion. "You have given us a future." Reyes, her face weary but determined, nodded. "We did what we had to do." As the KRYLL began to rebuild, the human fleet prepared to return home. Their journey had proven that humanity, though small and inexperienced, had a place among the stars. The galaxy, once indifferent to their existence, now looked to them with hope. The Vorix, though defeated, remained a lingering threat, but humanity was ready. They had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, their courage and ingenuity shining like a beacon in the void. The KRYLL homeworld, once on the brink of destruction, now stood as a testament to what could be achieved when species stood together. And humanity, once seen as weak and insignificant, had proven that even the smallest light could drive back the darkest night. The Vork's command ship's destruction sent shockwaves through the remaining fleet. Without the hive mind's coordination, the Vork's ships became disorganized, their movements erratic and uncoordinated. The human and KRYLL forces pressed their advantage, their combined firepower tearing through the enemy lines. The Vork's, though formidable, were now leaderless and vulnerable. One by one, their ships were destroyed or driven into retreat, their once dominant presence reduced to scattered remnants. The skies above the KRYLL homeworld, once darkened by the Vork swarm, began to clear. The battle was over. Humanity had won. The KRYLL, their homeworld saved, erupted in celebration. Their cities, though scarred, were alive with the sounds of gratitude and relief. The KRYLL people, once on the brink of extinction, now looked to the stars with hope. Humanity, though small and inexperienced, had proven themselves as saviors. The KRYLL ambassador, his voice trembling with emotion, addressed Admiral Elena Reyes and her crew. "You came when no one else would," he said. "You have given us a future. We will never forget what you have done for us." Reyes, her face weary but resolute, accepted the KRYLL's gratitude with humility. "We did what we had to do," she replied. "But this victory belongs to all of us. Together, we face the darkness and emerge stronger." The KRYLL, inspired by humanity's courage, vowed to stand by them in the future. They offered their advanced technology and resources to aid humanity's development, a gesture of goodwill that would accelerate Earth's journey into the stars. The alliance between humanity and the KRYLL was forged not out of necessity, but out of mutual respect and shared purpose. The human fleet, though victorious, was in no condition to return home immediately. The dauntless and resolute, heavily damaged in the battle, required extensive repairs. The Eclipse, though intact, had pushed its systems to the limit. The KRYLL, eager to repay their debt, provided materials and expertise needed to restore the human ships. The collaboration was a testament to what could be achieved when species work together. The KRYLL's advanced technology, combined with humanity's ingenuity, resulted in hybrid systems that surpassed anything either species could have created alone. As the repairs progressed, Reyes and her crew took the opportunity to learn more about the KRYLL and their culture. The KRYLL, a peaceful and artistic species, had been unprepared for the Vork's brutality. Their cities, though scarred by war, still bore the marks of their creativity and resilience. The KRYLL share their history, their art, and their dreams of future. Humanity, in turn, shared their own stories of struggle and triumph. The exchange deepened the bond between the two species, laying the foundation for a lasting alliance. The Vork's, though defeated, remained a lingering threat. Scattered remnants of their fleet still roamed the galaxy, their hive mind fractured but not entirely destroyed. Reyes knew that humanity's journey was far from over. The victory at the KRYLL homeworld was just the beginning. The galaxy, once indifferent to humanity's existence, now looked to them with hope. But with that hope came responsibility. Humanity would need to prepare for future conflicts, to strengthen their fleet and expand their presence among the stars. The KRYLL, now allies, would stand by them, their advanced technology and knowledge a valuable asset in the battles to come. Before departing, Reyes addressed her crew and the KRYLL people. "This victory is not the end," she said. "It is the beginning of a new chapter for all of us. The galaxy is vast and filled with challenges, but we have proven that together we can overcome even the greatest threats. Let this alliance be a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest times, we are stronger when we stand together." The KRYLL homeworld, once on the brink of destruction, now stood as a symbol of resilience and unity. The scars of war would remain, but they would serve as a reminder of what had been achieved. The KRYLL, inspired by humanity's courage, began to rebuild their cities and their lives, their spirits unbroken. Humanity, though small and inexperienced, had proven that even the smallest light could drive back the darkest night. As the human fleet prepared to return home, the KRYLL gathered to bid them farewell. Their gratitude was overwhelming, their admiration for humanity boundless. The KRYLL ambassador presented Reyes with a gift, a symbol of their alliance, a crystalline artifact that shimmered with the colors of their homeworld. "This is a token of our gratitude," he said. "May it remind you of the bond we share and the future we will build together." Reyes accepted the gift with solemn nod. "We will carry it with pride," she said, "and we will return, stronger than before, to face whatever challenges lie ahead." The human fleet, their ships repaired and their spirits renewed, set course for Earth. Their journey had proven that humanity, though small and inexperienced, had a place among the stars. The galaxy, once indifferent to their existence, now looked to them with hope, and humanity, once seen as weak and insignificant, had proven that even the smallest light could drive back the darkest night.